But in studio with me, I've got SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga, who's also been following this case for us. And I want to talk a little bit more about the implications for each side, because, I mean, Canny, it's a big moment, certainly in the election times, and you're seeing posters all over the place. Umkhonto we Sizwe is basing their entire campaign on this logo, on the name, and suddenly if it's deemed that they can't use it, what is the implication?
Okay, well, good morning to you, Leanne, and to the viewers at home. Well, there can only be two possible scenarios that we'll be looking at from 9:30 a.m. when that judgment is delivered in the KZN High Court, sitting in Durban. The court could dismiss the application. That would mean that the MK party is not barred from using the name and the logo in its campaign, as well as for the political party. We've seen in another application that the ANC was accepting of that court judgment, so we can expect that if that were the case, they would most likely accept the outcome, or if they decided to appeal, which is an option from the High Court, but you'd have to go to the court of first instance first, which is the High Court, and then you would have to seek further if you weren't successful there. So we expect that if that was the case, that what would happen in the scenario there. However, if they were successful in that application, it would mean that they've been given that interdict, which would state that nobody could use that name or that logo. Now, we know, at least until June last year, there was this use of the name and logo by this political party, the newly formed political party. And we know that they've already set up posters. We know that they've registered with the IEC under this name and using this logo. We know that they've been campaigning across the length and breadth of this country using the name and the logo. And we know from the IEC in their statement on Friday, where they welcomed the recent ruling by the Electoral Court, that they were starting with the process of printing those ballots. And we know the MK party is going to be on that ballot. So the implication of that application being successful would mean that the MK party would suffer that impact of not being able to use the name and the logo just weeks shy of those 2024 polls.
Wow, okay, so let me get this straight. So as of Friday, the IEC said they had push print. They are printing the ballot papers.
Yes.
So they weren't going to hold out until this judgment. So what makes you think? Like, what do they know we don't know?
Well, we're not certain about that. Yeah. And we do also know that recently a CIPC document revealed that the trademark had now been ceded to the ANC. That is Umkhonto we Sizwe, the trademark itself. That is that logo that you see there. So that evidence was not placed before the court in the first week of March when we were there. So we don't know if that will play any role or not in how the court makes its determination today. Yeah. However, what the ANC did at the time is that it used the historical links of Umkhonto we Sizwe to claim ownership of it. We know it's the brainchild of the Communist Party, that is an alliance partner of the ANC. We know the integral history, but the MK has vehemently opposed this application, stating that this is a history that belonged to all South Africans who enjoy the 30 years of democracy, which Umkhonto we Sizwe played a part in it. However, they were arguing essentially that if someone were to walk into the booth, the voting booth, and see that logo, that patent, if you could put it that way, of Umkhonto we Sizwe, we know they bear similarities, but they are different in where the spear is placed, that they would see that and be deceived and thinking that they're voting for the ANC. And by that, quote unquote, riding on the coattails of the ANC. That was the exact argument that they made there. But the judge did raise this issue that I was speaking to you about earlier when I stated that the effect of this interdictory relief is that it would bar, as soon as the judgment is made, it would bar, if they were successful, the MK from using that name or that logo, which of course would have significant implications for the 2024 May polls, because this newly formed political party that is backed by the former president has built their campaign and made some inroads across the country using this name and this logo. So
but they're also using Zuma's face. So could they, just my final question to you, I mean, say they rule in favor of the ANC and Umkhonto we Sizwe are not able to use this, they can still contest the elections, but they have very quickly to come up with new signage, take all their posters down, take everything away and start again.
Absolutely. It would mean a complete rebrand of this newly formed political party that already has posters up, is registered under this name. I'm not sure that once you register under a name that you can just change your name and start contesting under a different name. That's just not the way that it works. So one would think that if that was the scenario, that the court would probably come up with a just and equitable remedy that doesn't impact on free and fair elections in May.
All right, interesting. Canny, I know you'll be following this for us. So between Canny Maphanga and outside of that Durban court, Simpiwe Makanya will bring that to 9:30 is when that judgment is expected to be delivered. So we're going to wait and see what the future of the name MK Party and the logo hold for that party.